Thanks for joining us for KBOI 2 News Midday. I'm Kelsey Anderson. Now to your top 11 stories at 11 o'clock. The Soda Fire has charred 200,000 acres. It is now the largest wildfire in the U.S. Top fire managers increased the national fire preparedness level to its highest point this morning, level 5. That signals very high activity. But evacuations that went into place last night were lifted and residents have been allowed to return home.
We're going to still kind of continue working off dozer line, the engines, securing some of the existing lines that we have, trying to improve some of the lines that we do have, and try to get a handle on some of those areas that are unburned and kind of open flames, the open lines that we want to kind of get that secure and keep the fire within check.
Ms. Livy says the fire is being pushed quickly by heavy winds and dry fuel conditions. Flames are moving 4 miles an hour. The Soda Fire is a tough blow for many ranchers. It's burning up a lot of their rangeland and killing some of their animals. One rancher, Brian Johnstone, tells us his family has been raising livestock for nearly a century. He has 2,500 acres south of Marsing, but that land won't do him much good now that it's just scorched earth.
It's going to be tough, but it'll all grow back. You know, it ain't ruined. It's just, it'll take a few years to grow back.
Johnstone says it could be 3 years before they can use that land again. His family is now trying to round up their cattle. Some died in the fire. Each is worth $2,000. And the fire burning 13 miles north of Crouch is proving difficult to fight. The Forest Service says gusty winds, dry conditions, snags, and rough terrain are all making firefighting efforts tough. 135 firefighters are fighting that 500-acre blaze. Smoke from the fire, known as the West Scriver Fire, can be seen from Highway 55 near Smith's Ferry and from the Garden Valley area. We now know the name of the motorcyclist killed on the inbound connector last night. The Ada County coroner reports 32-year-old Harrison Berlin of Boise was killed in that crash. Witnesses say Berlin hit a barrier at a high rate of speed, which threw him into the skate park below. Investigators say he was not wearing a helmet. Boise police is still investigating the crash. And 3 separate crashes on I-84 caused early morning delays for commuters. The crash-ins happened around 4:30 this morning. During the 5 o'clock hour, only one lane was open to traffic, causing about a 30-minute delay for drivers. A spokeswoman for Idaho State Police says no one was hurt in those crashes. A Star man was flown to the hospital after crashing on I-84. This happened late last night around 11 o'clock. Idaho State Police say 54-year-old James Labacki drove off the right shoulder and overcorrected when he hit the rumble strips. He then drove through the median into oncoming traffic and rolled. Troopers say he was not wearing a seatbelt and was thrown from his Jeep. No word yet on his condition. 3 people are recovering after a 4-vehicle crash on I-84. This was also last night. It happened near the Eagle off-ramp. Idaho State Police say a driver failed to slow for traffic and started the chain reaction crash. Johnny Shea of Pocatello was taken to the hospital, according to troopers, along with 2 other people in his vehicle. The left lane of the interstate was blocked for over an hour after that crash. Well, 2 huge explosions in a Chinese warehouse killed at least 50 people and injured hundreds. The blasts happened at a warehouse for hazardous material and flattened the buildings and the immediate vicinity. Among the dead are 12 firefighters. Some fire crews are still missing. We'll have an in-depth report on this in just minutes. Jimmy Carter has announced cancer has spread to several parts of his body. The 39th president of the United States will be treated at Emory Hospital in Atlanta. Carter hasn't said what type of cancer he has, but has written about his father, brother, and 2 sisters dying of pancreatic cancer. And 2 popular bus routes will now run longer. Valley Ride says the number 7 Fairview bus and the number 9 State Street bus will start providing night service weekday starting next week. Number 7 will run until 9:30 and number 9 will operate until 10 p.m. Those changes go into effect this Monday, August 17th. Well, Boise City leaders would like to hear from you regarding a new police substation. An open house is being held tonight at 1025 South Capitol Boulevard. That's where that substation will be located. It starts at 5:30 tonight.